Greetings, denizens of the internet. Today, I will be showing something I like that I think people should use more in Commander. These cards, these 5 cards, they are known as the Tri-Creature Cycle from Streets of New Capenna. Now, something you may notice. 4 out of 5 of these are rogues, and 1 is a citizen. So, 4 of these work as outlaws. And have different effects. The best, in my opinion, all of them are good because of their second abilities. Well, their activated abilities, which is pay 2, exile the respective member of the Tri-Creature Cycle, and a land becomes a tri-land of their respective type. Now, I've almost never seen these in Commander. I actually recently built a deck that uses Glamorous Outlaw in an Outlaws deck because I'm doing Don Andreas, and it's a theft deck with outlaws, with an outlaw sub theme, so I figured I'd run it. And I had a guy in one of the pods I was playing kind of point out to me, nobody actually plays these cards, despite the fact that they're a really budget way to fix your mana. Like, yeah, sure, 16 mana, but effectively you're pseudo increasing your hand size a little bit by taking a card out of your hand and just exiling it and turning a land into a tri-land, which can then help you cast other spells. Which is just really good, honestly. Like, not to mention, each of the tri-creatures has different functionality. Glamorous Outlaw, where it commits a crime. Well, it doesn't really commit a crime, but it deals damage to its opponent. And you get a scry when it enters. Plus, it's a 4/5 body for 6 mana. I'd say that's pretty good. You're getting 6 mana worth of damage guaranteed. But, alright, come on. And Masked Bandits, Vigilance Menace 5/5. That's a pretty good rate, considering you're getting 2 keywords on a 5/5 body. Not to mention, it's Vigilance, so you can attack with it and block with it in the same turn cycle. Not to mention, Menace requires that an opponent can potentially lose 2 creatures to 1. Rakish Reveler gives you 6 power across 2 bodies. Sure, it's only 4 toughness total, but you get an Elf Druid Rogue and a Citizen token. And, that just works in these colors in general, because a lot of these colors have token strategies. Shattered Seraph. 4/4 flyer that gains you 3 life. And yeah, sure, it's the most expensive one, being 4 in an Esper, but you can cast this from exile at any point in the game. Once you get the land you need, you can just cast the Shattered Seraph from exile and get it right to the battlefield as a big angel. Yeah. So, yeah, Rakish Revelers is good because it's low cost, but for smaller bodies. And then Spard's Adjudicators is a 4/4 cat citizen that makes target creature opponent control can't attack or block until your next turn. This could potentially stop an opposing creature from killing you, which is pretty good. Now, of course, the best part is in these 3 colors, you have access to the most amount of blink. I'd say quite a lot of blink effects where you can just spam blink adjudicators and cause all sorts of issues. Like, honestly, all you have to do is run adjudicators or adjudicators, or however I say that word, with a teleportation circle, and you can just lock down a single creature from attacking or blocking over and over and over at each of your end steps. Like, all of these, like 3 out of 4 of these have ETB triggers, which you can abuse with blink effects. Shattered Seraph could potentially save you by gaining you 3 life in it, and then being a body to block a giant creature, potentially. Like, each one has its own unique purpose, and the best part is that each one embodies the colors that they represent perfectly. Glamorous Outlaw, 2 damage to each opponent. There's the red. Scry 2, there's the blue. And the black is each opponent. Masked Bandit, 5/5, Vigilance Menace. Vigilance is usually a green keyword. Menace is usually associated with red and black. And it's a big body. Rakish Revelers, 5/3. High power because of red. White makes the token. Green is also one of the colors of the token. Shattered Seraph, 4/4. Gains 3 life, which is something white does. Flying, which is something blue does. And sometimes black also has flying, as does white sometimes. So I'd say that represents all 3 colors in a single keyword there. Adjudicators is 4/4, and then this ability in general just, I think, fits Bant really well. Because, blue's got those effects that say creature can't block this turn sometimes. Yeah, sure, they're pretty rare, but they're there. White has effects that say a creature can't attack or block. White has pacifisms, all that stuff. And green is, it's where a lot of cats are. So I'd say it represents its colors. Not to mention, Citizen 2, which is nice. Yeah. I think this cycle is probably one of the best cycles in Magic. They're all commons. They're bulk. Like, you can get very pretty versions of these cards for bulk. Okay? Like, look. This regular version, 3 cents. Now you want the pretty version, also 3 cents. But your creature just looks so much cooler for literally no investment. Like, I was looking in the new Capenna box at the LGS I go to. There was 23 of these in the box because nobody plays these cards. But they can fix your mana. If you're playing a 5-color deck like I am, I have a 5-color deck. It uses Jared Carthelion. I've been having issues with mana filtering. These cards fix that issue. And you won't technically be losing anything because the card is effectively storing itself for later use. In addition, this should be noted about all 5 members of this cycle. Yeah, they can fix your mana to cast themselves. That's the really cool part. So, for example, say I'm playing Rakish Revelers, and, I've got 5 mana, but I've only got a red and a white. You know, on turn 5, I'll exile Rakish Revelers to its ability, and then turn 6, I'll cast it. Because, you know, it makes 5/3 and a body, and a 1/1. Like, yeah. They can basically, like, and if you don't need them, they can just make your lands work better. Because, like, yeah, sure, they don't add land types. But for what they do, these are extraordinarily cheap. I say, if you're running any of these 5 color combinations, or a 5 color deck, or a 4 color deck that runs some of these color combos, pick them up. Believe me, you won't regret it. And if you do, oh well, they're only 3 cents anyway. So you're not losing much. I mean, the most I've seen one sell for is 30 cents, which is 10 times 3 cents, but yeah, that's really about it. They're just so cheap, and the value you're getting out of them is great. Although, there's something even more interesting to note. These cards got an arena buff the entire cycle. Now, on Arena, these cards function much similarly to how they do in paper. However, each member of the cycle has gotten different buffs. For example, Glamorous Outlaw deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Which, yeah, has an effect added to it. And the ability to exile the card from your hand to make a land a tri-land on Arena was buffed as well, because nobody is using these cards on there. So first turn, you can exile these from your hand for their effect to turn a land into a tri-land on the first turn of the game on Arena, which I think is honestly disgusting. Like, the funniest part, like, none of them got any nerfs in any meaningful way. Like, yeah, Glamorous Outlaw. Oh yeah, Masked Bandits, Vigilance Menace, and yeah, Masked Bandits got a stat buff, so it went from a 5/5 to a 5/6. Still really good value. Like, really, like, the unbalanced ones are really good value, but the rebalanced ones are just stupid. Like, the amount of value you're getting from them is amazing. Like, I know I'm a bit biased, but, you know, yeah, the only one that didn't really seem to get any rebalances besides the exile ability change was Rakish Revelers, but that was the best among the cycle anyway, so it was kind of earned. Shattered Seraph, on the other hand, yeah, I think Shattered Seraph's the other one that didn't get changed. Not really sure. Oh, yeah, okay. Shattered Seraph actually did get changed. They added 1 toughness to Shattered Seraph like they did with Masked Bandits. As far as Adjudicators, meanwhile, still a 4/4. And I think it had a mana reduction. No. Okay, Adjudicators wasn't changed, but yeah. 3 members of the cycle got changed and were buffed, on top of just the universal buff with the tri-creature cycle of going from 2 generic mana for the exile ability to 1. I'd say, please, use these cards. They are amazeballs. Like, even running just 1 can save you from being mana screwed. And they're not a dead draw late game, because unlike, say, utility lands, these cards can act as part of a top end or a way to rebuild your board. They're just that good. Yeah. So far, I've built a deck. They need more love. And it's also really cool that like they represent each of the respective like groups of New Capenna too. So that's cool. Yeah. That's really all I gotta say about this. Later.